Baruch Hashem, Yerushalayim is the city of fire. It's a tremendous Eish in Yerushalayim. Eish is burning right here. It's an Eish of Torah. That is Reb Noach's Yurtzeit. It's an Eish of Tefillah. It's an Eish, Tamid, Tukah, Dal Gabe, Mizbeach. The whole Beis HaMikdash is Eish. Everything is Eish. It's fire. It's a big, big fire. But you know what happens? There's one thing to have Eish, but there's another thing when you have Ruach. When you have Ruach that comes and joins the Eish. When you have the Ruach of Tzfas, it starts fanning the Eish. And the Eish is not a regular Eish anymore. The Eish is Kol Ahar Bar Ba'Eish. The entire mountain is now ablaze with fire. You get an Eish of Harabayas. You get an Eish that's beyond this world. It's an Eish of KLAL YISRAEL, of what we looked like before we ate. It's Odom Rishon, Koydem B'Chet. It's an Eish of Poschus U'Amasam. It's a fire that takes us back to a very pure place. So today, this fire of Yerushalayim is getting fanned by our chevra from Tzfas. It's a tremendous simcha to be here, to be part of this gewaldige Eish, this Ruach. And I have to tell you, the Ramban says when Eish and the Ruach get together in an unhealthy way, it's called a demon. Demons are made out of Eish and Ruach. Rav, she's leggy. He'll really tell you. I just saw it a little bit. But that's not a good thing when you have Eish and Ruach. But that's only when the Eish is just taivas. And when the Eish is not a healthy type of Eish, that's an Eish of kas. And it's an Eish of gaiva. And it's something unhealthy in the world of Eish. And when the Ruach is something that's separate, that's been dislodged, it's hoilalus. So that coming together makes something dangerous. But when you have Eish of davening, you have Eish that I'm so passionate about how much I love another Yid. I have Eish for my marriage. I have Eish for tefillah. I have Eish that I so badly want to see the Eish al Gabi HaMizbeach. And then I fan that with Pnimius HaTorah, with the Ruach Hashem Bekirbi, the Leiv Tahor Barali Elokim V'Ruach Nochen Chadesh Bekirbi. I start fanning that Eish with a Ruach Memalala, with a very, very big Ruach. Then we have the Tikkun for all the darkness in the world. And I hope today, and I feel in this room, and I feel here that there's this feeling right now that the Yidden that are here and all over the world connecting to us, like the Baal Shem Tov says, wherever Yid's heart and soul are, he is there. That we just so badly want to see the Eish al Gabe HaMizbeach. We want to see Kol Ahar Bar Ba'Eish. And I feel that right now, if we could put the Eish of our hearts and the Ruach of our heart into something for the next few moments, who knows what great bracha we could bring to the entire world. Humanity is waiting. They're waiting so much for us to get our act together. A tremendous thank you to the Gans Olam here in Beis Hashem that are hosting this unbelievable day of Eish and Ruach, of Yerushalayim and Tzfas, Ir HaKodesh. To Moreinu V'Rabbeinu, Rebbe Moyer of Kahana, the Rosh Yeshiva. To the one that for sure would not want me to mention him. But obviously you have to say thank you and have a Kor Satov, Rabbi Yisrael Gross. We do love Rabbi Yisrael. For unbelievable binyan of Eish, of a ruach of binyan here, of a binyan of just bigger and more brach of a KLAL YISRAEL that is happening here. A tremendous hakaras hatov to Reb Moshe, who I know behind the scenes is making everything happen. To all the gans at Tzfas Chever that came all the way down, Rav Avshi, Reb Eliyahu, Reb Yechezkel, a gewaldige hakaras hatov for bringing the ruach binyan, the ruach nochen chadesh bekirbi. Tremendous simcha to see the yichud of Eish and the ruach. And for sure, Eade Nafshi, who I feel in many ways was the pintle, was the real spark behind everything that's happening today. Eade Nafshi, Ilan Meir Teichman. So for a few minutes, let's begin. And then I hope to go into a moment of a meditation together. And I hope from that we can then send ourselves, all of us together, to a place of really, as this day is about, a unification of the Ruach and the Eish, a unification of Yerushalayim and Tzfas, a unification of Yidden being together, wanting Geula, that we can go to a place where we're going to see the Achdus HaPoshet from the Pa'ulis Mishtanas, from all the complexness of this world. So let's begin by going into the garden for a few minutes. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes Adam, v'yipach ba'ap of nishmas Chaim, and he blows inside of Adam the nishmas Chaim, the chelik elokam imal mamish, that inside Adam is neshama, is the neshima, pure connection with Hashem, tamimus, pure connection, absolute feeling, 100%. Hashem, I feel close to you. Nothing complex. All of life in the Gan is simple. Adam is put inside the Gan, la'ovda u'l'shamra, mitzvahs aseh, mitzvahs lo yisaseh. Everything is simple. Learning Torah, mipi agavura, everything is pure. Everything is good. And close your eyes a second. Try to imagine at that moment, Adam in the Gan, the v'yipach ba'ap of nishmas Chaim, and Adam and Chava are without any clothing. V'lo yisboisheshu, there's no embarrassment. It's absolute oneness. It's basar echad mamish. Everything is one. There's nothing else. I'm learning Torah from Hashem. I'm being betayel in the Gan. Tamimus. Everything is pure. There's nothing but pure, simple clarity. Adam is clear. Hashem, all I want is you. All I want is you. Absolute clarity. And then all of a sudden something happens. And we know how the story goes. There's a Nachash. And you know the Nachash was Aram. The Nachash was very, very tricky. And the Nachash says, hey, why don't you come eat from this? And of course the Nachash said to eat from the Eitz Hadas, Toiv Hara. Now what does it mean, an Eitz Hadas, Toiv Hara? Das means I'm deeply connected to something. Adam Yoda, Eschave Ishtoi, I'm deeply connected to something. So the Nachash said, I want that you should be connected to Toiv and Ra. And you're not going to know which one is Toiv and which one is Ra. You're going to know everything. But there's one thing you're not going to know. Which one is Toiv and which one is Ra. You'll see everything. You'll see the entire world. But everything right away got very confusing. All of a sudden, Adam went from being, Adam was from one end of the world to the next. Adam's body was made from ore, from Mizrach to the Ma'ariv, he filled the entire world. Next thing you know, Adam is shrunk. He's mere mortal. He sees Chava. She's different. They're separate. Adam and Chava go now into a world of Pirud. of separation. Everything is separate now. Everything is confusing. My body, your body. I wake up, I don't know what to do in the morning. It's a world of confusion now. What happened to the old time of just pure? Everything got very, very complex, very, very quick. And for 5,785 years, we're trying to fix what happened, including you and I. That's really why we're here today. We're still part of Jewish destiny right now to fix what happened then. One of the reasons why women light Shabbos candles is because that Erev Shabbos, the world got very dark. Chava put out the light, and all of a sudden it was dark. And could you imagine every single Jewish woman or man lighting Shabbos candles for thousands of years? The amount of light that they're trying to bring back into the world after what happened in Gan Eden, something very big must have happened. So now we're going through the generations, trying to now put the pieces back together. So I'd like to go into a tefillah together. How can we put these pieces back together? There's so much separation. I'm me, you're you. There's so many differences. The world is filled with what's called pu'ulas mishtanas, a world of just many, 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 many things. How many yogurt flavors are there in the shop? Now you should know, my friend Yossel says, they're fooling you because they're all owned by the same company. So you think there's so much multiplicity, but that's really the side, which we'll get to. That is the side. Is that it's a world of so much multiplicity. How many types of bagels can you make yourself? And it has to be exactly right. It's my type of a bagel, you know? I'm defined by the bagel. We've entered a world of so much multiplicity. Republican, Democrat, everything is tribal. I'd like today to stop being tribal. I'd like today to offer maybe a path, with the permission of the great Rabbanim here, who really taught me this lesson from when I first came to Eretz Yisrael, to here, to Yerushalayim, Rabbi Yom Tov, who really gave me the entire chiyus of this journey. And I'd like to suggest that we think that in Gan Eden, that when Adam came into the Gan, and he saw that there was an Eitz Chaim, and then he saw that there was an Eitz Das, and Hashem says to Adam, eat from the Eitz Chaim. And Adam didn't eat from the Eitz Chaim, he ate from the Eitz Das. And the world became a very, very complex place through that. But you know, there was only one tree. There was never two trees. It was always one tree. What they told you in preschool was not true. It was only one tree. It's that the higher part of the tree was the Eitz Chaim, and the lower part of the tree was the Eitz Das. And if Adam would have gone into Shabbos Kodesh and eaten from the Eitz Chaim and made Kiddush, then he could have eaten from the Eitz Das on Shabbos. But Adam, what are you going to do? He ate before Kiddush. People think, oh, well, I'm a little thirsty, eat before Kiddush. Oh, before Kiddush. Adam ate before Kiddush, and therefore he didn't have the vision to see that even in the Eitz Das Toivara, even in the multiplicity, even in a world of so much variety, there's only one. And if Adam would have eaten from the Eitz Chaim, he could have eaten from the Eitz Das. And the tzaddikim, all the generations, have been trying to give over a Messiah. And I hope that we're delivering that today. That if we could feed Jews a little bit of the Eitz Chaim, If we could give them a little bit of that taste of the higher part of the tree, then you won't get lost in the Eitz Hadas. You'll be able to discern between Tov and Ra. You'll be able to see that everything in the world has a place. You'll be able to see that all of humanity has a role in the Geula. And that there's nothing in this very complex world that's not part of this ultimate Geula. To be so holistic. That's not always a word in yeshivas that's so popular, but I'd like to make it popular right now. Holistic. It means shleimus. It includes green juices and exercise. It means the whole picture. It means the Eitz Chaim and the Eitz Hadas, Tov v'Ra. Everything is now part of the picture. It means that this Yid and this person is not as separate as I thought. That we're so deeply unified, more than I could have ever known. But because I was only eating from the Eitz Hadas Tov v'Ra, I didn't realize how much more I have in common with every single person, because I was only eating from the lower stuff. And as soon as I could taste from the Eitz Chaim, and I realized that it's Eitz Echad, it's only one tree, I start tasting the oneness of every single person around me. And one of the secrets of this is a day that's coming up in a few days called Tu B'Shvat. And the Mishnah says about Tu B'Shvat that Tu B'Shvat is Rosh Hashanah le'ilan. I would have thought that it would have been Rosh Hashanah le'ilanas, to the trees. But it's Rosh Hashanah for the ilan, the single ilan, the one ilan. Because on that day we realized there's only one tree. There was never two trees. It was always one. We just got lost in the lower part of it. But on Tu B'Shvat, Rosh Hashanah le'ilan, we go to the higher part of the tree. We start tasting from the Eitz Chaim. And that's why, like Rashi says, that Rosh Hashanah le'ilan, what's the big simcha of Rosh Hashanah le'ilan? Says Rashi, the sraf, the sap, starts going up in the trees. The entire winter, what's happening? You go out to a tree, this whole thing looks such a nebuch. What have you been doing all winter? Nothing. Looks like a guy sitting in a corner in yeshiva over a taisus. What have you been doing? Show me some peiros, Produce something for me. What's your portfolio? Ayesh loim and a taisus. I'm working it out. And I don't see the peiros. But you don't understand. Could you imagine what you're doing with sitting with Rav Kahana every single day in Beis Hashem? Do you understand that you're in the winter time right now, sitting in the corner, learning up Ketzad Mevarchim? Could you understand what's happening now, that deep down, it's amazing, it's all grassy here, I like that feature, that deep down, you're bringing all the roots, it's my holistic, you're bringing all the roots. You're starting to, the whole winter, everything is just gathering here. All the sraf is, all the mineralization, all the mycelium, all the ganze, it's all gathering together. But nothing you see on the outside, and comes Tu B'Shvat, and the first moment of something is happening. All those months of sitting on Ketzad Mevarchim, I feel my sap. I feel my koyach is starting to come up. I don't even see the fruits yet, but I know something has started. And for the entire Jewish people who are called an Elon, we all start feeling something is moving on Tu B'Shvat, because it's Rosh Hashanah le'ilan, the one Elon, and we start feeling something big is starting to happen. And in a little bit, there's going to come Nisan, and we're all going to go outside and make brachas on the new flowering. And we're going to say, look at this beautiful world, it's not missing anything. And we're going to understand the world is so beautiful, we didn't miss anything. Because there was a great secret that during these months we were pulling deep. We were going deep, we were looking for the Eitz Chaim. We were yearning for the Eitz Chaim. We just had to go through the chayre for this world. After Adam Rishon ate from the Eitz Hadas, He sent the world into a 5,785-year chayrif. And towards the end, you and I, the sraf starts to come up, the sap starts bubbling up, the syrup starts coming up inside the tree. And we're going to start to see great fruits that are budding all around the world. And you and I are the ones that are going to greet. This is the final generation before Mashiach. It says, Mamish it. And we're going to realize that all the separation and all the chayrif and all the difficulty and all the darkness, you know when it's dark and you don't see something, it doesn't mean that thing is not there. It's just that you can't see it there. That's the illusion of the separation of the darkness. It looks like it's not there. So we're going through a time where we look separate. Separation means darkness. And it feels like we're really not combined. And the time is going to come where we're going to start to turn on the lights. And we're going to realize that we are all one from the very beginning. The entire Jewish people is 1/8. Rosh Hashanah Le'ilan, there's only one. That's all of us. We just had to go through this period of being one, and then being separate, and then becoming one again. But now the oneness is more profound because we're choosing it. We're choosing the oneness. We're choosing the oneness from amongst the darkness, from the Pa'ulus Mishtanis. We're choosing to be one now, which is a gewaldige unity. And you know, this is hinted to in Hashem's name. Like the Ari HaKodesh says, that Yud Kei Vav Kei. What's Yud Kei Vav Kei? Haya, Hoive, V'yeh. Hashem was. Which for a moment, imagine that. Hashem always was. How far back can your mind go? Wherever it goes, go before that. And then keep going. And keep going. And that same Hashem is here right now and will forever be. And that consciousness is happening every single time that I say Havaya, Baruch. The Arizal says it's talking about also 3 stages in human history. Haya is Hashem before he created the world. There's just oneness. After Adam eats, that's Hoiveh. That's the period we're in now, of separation. But Yeh is when we all come back to one. Every single one of us. Every single one here. The entire Jewish people. All of humanity. Understand there's only one. Yeh. And that's why it says Hashem's name in the future will be Yeh. It will be Kuloi Or. It will be only Or. And this is what the shofar is. That when you blow the first tekiah, doo. That's why the best tekiyahs are just doo, without like doo whoop. That's like one is just doo. Tekiah goes forever. But then you have a trua. And a trua, what's the shayrish of the word trua? Of ra. It's evil. Because evil just means when something is separate, that I didn't see that it's one. Do, 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 do. But then the end, I have another tekiah. Do. Because I find oneness from the trua. This whole world right now is a giant trua. We're literally living in a trua. This is the biggest trua that ever was. One giant trua. But if you could wake up while you're in the trua, and you realize that the trua was just here for me to understand and come back and choose the one, that is the beginning of the Tekiah Gedoyla that's going to go on forever. That's the Tekiah Mashiach. That's the gewaldige, endless Tekiah that we're all going to experience. So because Yossel's here, he always reminds me of this. Is that Chazal says something beautiful. They say, why shouldn't you take revenge on another Jew, God forbid? So they bring an analogy of a butcher. And you know what the butcher's doing? He goes and he wants to get some meat. So he takes the butcher's cleaver and he takes it up high and he chops down. And by accident, he chops off the pinky finger of his left hand. He goes home, he bandages himself up. Next day he comes back. Now he's feeling a bit... He takes the cleaver in his left hand, he pulls it up, slices down, chops off the pinky finger of his right hand. I'm going to show you. You take off my pinky finger, I'm going to take off your pinky finger. So Chazal say, you fool! It's you! It's you! You fool! Lo yisiton v'lo yisitor. Don't take revenge. You're hurting yourself. We're all one. Now, if that's the way for something on the side of negativity, wouldn't it be nice if every single time a Yid is a simcha, we could be so happy for him? You see another Yid gets engaged. Could you imagine? Now you're also, dating and stuff. Oh, it's you. It's you. It's you. You're not happy when a part of your body feels better? Of course, it's one you. And to the degree that we do that, we start becoming one Elon again. We start becoming one KLAL YISRAEL again. There's only one. There's only one. And when we, the Jewish people, could become one, Hashem, who is one, will stick to us and protect us. But when there's period, but it's a lie. There's no period. It's all Eitz Echad. It's only one Elon. It's just the lower part of the tree. But once we start eating from the Eitz Chaim, Eitz Chaim hi lemachzikim, once we start eating from life, from the Pnimiyas HaTorah, we start feeling our sraf is going up. Who talks about Tu B'Shvat? Except the world of the Mekubalim and the Chassid Sfardim for sure. Those that are connected, by the way, it's spreading everywhere. That's the whole site. Is that all of these days are spreading everywhere. That the whole of KLAL YISRAEL is starting to feel that we're one Elon. We're starting to feel this inner koyach, this sraf is going up. And we know that it's going to bring great fruits to the world. Humanity is waiting for us to bring the fruits. I wrote a letter to the president right after he was elected. And it said, congratulations on behalf of the Jewish people. After you're going to end all the wars, and you're going to dig up the liquid gold, leave the liquid gold to me, Babe. And you're going to make sure that you de-weaponize the justice system. And I went through all the list of the things. But then I said, so now what? So now everybody's living with tremendous wealth. The border's secure. There's no more enemies. But what will the legacy be for eternity? I said the greatest legacy is that you could help the American people know that there's a creator and sustainer of heaven and earth who loves them. And they could have a relationship with God. If you do this, you will be the goat. That's what I said. Not exactly that lashon, but basically that lashon. Because after everything is said and done, and everybody's wealthy, and everybody's safe, so now what? What do the Jewish people really have to give to humanity? And the answer is, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. There's only one. And we're being entrusted, every single one of us, to give that message over, that it's one and not two, and all of humanity is included in this, and everyone has a role in this. I want to, for just a moment, close our eyes and just feel the following idea. Hashem, you are here right now, and you love me unconditionally. Hashem, you are here right now, and you love me unconditionally. Hashem, you are here right now, and you love me unconditionally. All separation in the Jewish people is an illusion. We are all one. All separation and distance in the Jewish people is an illusion. We are all one. We are all one. As the Ruach is starting to come and fill the city of Yerushalayim, and the fires al gabi HaMizbeach begin, we're yearning. Hashem, we're yearning today. We're yearning so much that we want all of KLAL Yisrael to come home. That we want to bring back all the Yidden me'arba kanfei sa'aretz. We want to bring the message of unity to the whole world. Humanity is waiting for the Jewish people to get their acts together, for me to get my act, for us to get our act together, to really have a message to bring to the world of unity, that we're in this together, guided by the wisdom of the Torah, guided by the wisdom of the Chaim, to see that everyone has a role in this wondrous destiny for humanity. Humanity is thirsty now. They're thirsty for answers, for guidance. They want to know that there's only one tree and that all the separation is just temporary. And we see the great day soon. They will have the Eish, Tukad al Gabi HaMizbeach. That will go back to Adam Rishon, far the Chait, before the Chait. But it's going to be even more profound. Because Adam ate. And I do see two. But now I show that two is really one. We see that we're all one. We're Guf Echad, we're Elon Echad, that the Sraf is rising inside of us. We see the Haya Hoivaviyah, we see the Tkiya, the true and the Tkiya Gedoyla. We know that Hashem, it's only you. It's Einoid Malvadoi. And Befrat now, getting to Shloshim Yom Kodem Achag of Purim, that the entire Purim story, which seemed like so many different individual parts, is all one. And the end of the story, Harbe me'amei ha'aretz misyadim. There were many, many people who became Jews because they saw that Hashem is one, Hashem is orchestrating everything. It starts with us here. To be happy for another Yid like it's me. To cry for another Yid like it's me. That I was speaking to Lelever Rebbe a couple of days ago on Reb David Lelever's Yurtzeit, and he said, Reb David Lelever learned loving other people from a couple drunkards in the bar. And one of them said, do you love me? He said, of course I love you. Do you love me? Why do you say that? Of course I love you. No, be'emes, do you love me? I'm your best friend, Ivan. I love you, brother. You don't love me. Why do you talk that way? You don't love me. You don't feel what I'm going through. Rav David Lelever said he mamish learned everything about loving, that I feel for another Yid. I feel his pain, I feel his simcha, just like my own body. It's Guf Echad, it's Elon Echad. There's only one. We should be Zoycha, my dear friends, to feel that this Beis Hashem, Shivti Beveis Hashem, Kol Yemei Chaya, we should be Zoycha Mamish, that this is the home of Hashem. It's so pasha to me that this is a home that all KLAL Yisrael feels welcome. This has to be a Mashiach Dika Beis Medrash, because Yidden from all over the world are coming to be here in Beis Hashem. We should be Zoycha, all of us, to feel, to really feel. That's another thing sometimes in yeshivas, but to feel, yes, to feel for another Yid, to be open to our emotional world, to feel mamish for another Yid. And with that, we'll have such a ruach bekirbi, that the ruach of tzfas will start to fan the fires of Eish. And we'll see the boyer Eish ad lev hashamayim, that the great fires in heaven will start to stoke once again. And these will be fires of passion, of building, of love, of compassion. And the whole of humanity will come and they'll see, look at KLAL Yisrael. They'll see such a people of passion that all they want to do is share the Torah of Hashem, the one God, Elokei Yisrael Melech. May we see once and for all. We should be zoche mamish, all of us zusammen, all of us together, to once and for all the binyan beis hamikdash and Mashiach tzidkein b'mhirav yameinu. Amen. Ashreinu matom chageinu manayim goralei. Ashreinu matom chageinu manayim goraleinu. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya. Ashreinu atom chageinu manayim goraleinu. Ashreinu atom manayim goraleinu. La 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Sign Mr. Cole. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ashreinu matom chageinu manayim goraleinu. Ashreinu matom manayim goraleinu. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da, ya la 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 la, ya ya ya. Ashreinu matom chageinu manayim goraleinu.